when Umar ibn Khattab was reciting the Torah one time, and then the Prophet Muhammad he saw him, Ya Umar, what are you doing? Ya Rasulullah, I'm reading the Torah. The Prophet told him, والله لو كان عيسى بن عمران حيا لما وسعه إلا أن يتبعني. If Isa ibn Imran, if he was live, he will follow me. Allah has given me something better. Read the Torah, read the Quran. The Quran is better. If Isa was here today alive, he would follow me. This is what the Prophet Muhammad, yes, some people just said, if I want to get that role to be able to debate the non-believers, well, that's a different science. But for the Dua who are maybe like this is their like this particular like Dr. Zakir Naik and others, this is their field. They need to learn what's in the Torah and the Injil and whatnot. But for the layman like you and I will say the Torah. The Prophet says, Al-Quran, Al-Quran, Al-Quran. If Isa was with me here today, he would follow me, Ya Umar. And if that means if Nuh was alive, if Ibrahim was alive, if Adam was alive, لو كانوا أحياء لما وسعهم إلا أن يتبعوا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. They will all follow the Prophet Muhammad, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took his covenant from all the prophets when he created, before he created mankind, Allah created the souls, and then he told the prophets, he become أخلصهم. If you were to bring a man, a prophet, would you follow him? Prophet Muhammad, Allah is talking about Prophet Muhammad. قالوا أقامنا. Yes, we shall, we believe, we shall follow that man that you tell us to follow Allah. قالوا أقامنا وأخذوا من الله سبحانه وتعالى ميثاق. يعني الله عز وجل أخذ ميثاق من النبي. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أتحدثكم بما فتح الله عليكم ليحاجوكم به عند ربكم. Then Allah says, أفلا تعقلون. This is what they say to their people. Don't you think تعقلون, عقل in Arabic means the intellect, the brain, right? أفلا تعقلون. Don't share with them. This is secret. العقل, by the way, العقل ينقسم إلى 3 أقسام. The عقل is split into 3 types of عقل. You have something called العقل الغريزي بالعربي. العقل الغريزي، وعندك العقل التمييز، وعندك عقل منا. عقل الغريزي, which is the instinctive mind. What is the instinctive mind? This is the عقل that Allah has built everyone with, including animals. Even an animal has that brain. You give an animal a brain, or you give him, let's say you bring a dog, and you give the dog a piece of meat, or you give him a lentil. What are we going to choose, the lentil or the meat? The dog. He's going to go for the meat. No brainer. This is the aql that Allah has given to us. Aql can be gharizi. This is the instinctive. It's born with you. And then you have al-aql tamyiz, the distinctive. The first one is the instinctive, the second type of intellect is the distinctive mind. This is white, this is black, this is a man, this is a woman, this is a carpet, this is a wall, this is a aql tamyiz. This is the aql that distinct between things. And then this aql is given to everyone except one person. Who's that person? Al-Majnoon. You all know what Majnoon is. Majnoon, crazy. Allah, he doesn't have the aql. This is why he calls him Majnoon. Janna aqlu. In Arab, Janna aqlu, Jann. Jann comes from Janeen. Janeen is something hidden, like Jinn. Jinn is hidden, we don't see. So, Janna aqlu, we see somebody who's lost his brain, and he lost it, he cannot distinguish between this or that. So you have the instinctive mind, and you have something called aql minna, from the name of Allah al-Mannan. This is the aql that's given to people like you and I. This is the blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And even in terms of aql, some people may be using it only for dunya. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says with regard to Hajj, for instance. ومن الناس من يقول ربنا آتنا في الدنيا وما له في الآخرة من خلاق ومنهم من يقول ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. This is the aql of the believer. The other aql for the others is the same aql, the same type of mind, but it's given to even the non-believers, but their mind is only for dunya. They want dunya, dunya, dunya. Word, mind, only money, words. The PPP, you know what PPP is? Pakistanis, you should know that. I learned it from Pakistan. PPP, Power Protocol Paisa. This is where we love this. Power, you know that. Should somebody, no? Huh? First time I had PPP? That's what they call it, PPP Pakistan Party. It's called Power Protocol and Paisa. Paisa means money. Yeah, they want only money. هذا عقل ربنا آتنا في الدنيا وما له في الآخرة من خلق. Those who say, Allah, we just want this dunya. But for the believer, عقل الدنيا والآخرة. They want the dunya and they want the آخرة. It's the عقل of the mu'min. عقل المؤمن. ثم قال الله تعالى سبحانه وتعالى أولا يعلمون أن الله يعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and this is a very, very important message to all. أولا يعلمون, don't they know? Are they aware that Allah Azza wa Jal knows what they hide and what they disclose? Things that they keep hidden and things that they do openly, and private things and openly things. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ما يسرون وما يعلنون. أولا يعلمون أن Allah is aware of that which they conceal and that which they reveal. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is al-alim. Al-alim, by the way, al-alim is one of the names of Allah, by the way. Al-alim, al-alim. السميع الرقيب رقيب عليكم سبحانه وتعالى. So Allah has عليه شيء. So Allah is saying to these people, don't they know? They're telling people keeping secrets. But Allah, you cannot keep secrets from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can run, but you cannot hide. Allah knows all subhanahu wa ta'ala. He knows what you're thinking right now. He knows what you did yesterday. And He knows what you're doing today. And He knows what you will do tomorrow. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's al-alim. So Allah says, don't they know? And this is a message to all. Why do you go and hide to commit something wrong? Allah knows what you're doing. Many people are not seeing you or watching you, but Allah is. ما يسرون وما يعلنون. Allah knows that which you conceal and that which you reveal. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. ليس عليه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء. ومنهم أميون لا يعلمون الكتاب إلا أماني وإنهم إلا يظنون. Okay, this is also very important ayah. And amongst them, the Yahud, there are some who are illiterate. أميون. Prophet Muhammad al-Nabi al-Ummi. We call him al-Nabi al-Ummi. Ummi is illiterate. So amongst these Yahud, they are أميون. لا يعلمون الكتاب. We don't know anything, subhanallah, amongst them. Who are these people? They are ulama. The ulama are أميون. Why? لا يعلمون الكتاب إلا أماني وإنهم إلا يظنون. You have wishes which we're going to talk about. وإنهم إلا يظنون. يظنون comes from ظن. ظن means I think. This is what they think. I think this is what halal. In the book, in the belief. We think that this is okay. We think that this is إلا يظنون وإنهم إلا يظنون. كذابين خداعين. This is why they're liars. This is why they deceive people, because they don't take things as they are. They use their tongue. Okay, well, with this, you know what? Let's throw, what's an example? I mentioned it last week, or the week before. Okay, we're not supposed to be fishing on Saturday. What are we going to do? Okay, it's okay. We think that if we throw the net on Friday, exactly, if we throw the net on Friday, we're not fishing. So they're using their wrong intellect. يظنون. أظن هذا حلال. أظن this is right. This is what they're doing. وهذا أعلمهم أعلم اليهود. بس كلهم ظن. But for us, that is not true. We don't take our rulings from something called I think. I think I have wudu. If you think you have wudu, then you're not sure. Go and make your wudu. In Islam, we don't have this. إن الظن لا يغني من الحق شيئا. الله سبحانه وتعالى in the Quran. إن الظن لا يغني من الحق شيئا. الحق. Remember the درجات العلم? I talked about the levels of ilm some time back when it says you have علم اليقين. And when it says we have علم اليقين. And you have حق اليقين. Remember this? I think you do. علم اليقين. I know about a place. I know about a place called Mecca. I heard of it. علم. عين اليقين. عين اليقين, I see, I saw it. I read of it, but now I saw it. عين اليقين, with the عين. But there's something called حق اليقين. حق is when I'm there. So علم اليقين, I know about the آخرة. عين اليقين is when you see it, but حق اليقين when you go there, when you're there. So these people, they only work with not yaqeen. They have nothing of certainty. It's all about them. It's all about thought. It's all about, we believe maybe this is what it is. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and it applies to the liars all over. Allah says, لويل للذين يكتبون الكتاب بأيديهم ثم يقولون هذا من عند الله ليشتروا به ثمنا قليلا فويل لهم مما يكسبون. وويل مما كسبت أيديهم وويل لهم مما يكسبون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says here, woe, wail is a river in hellfire. To whom Allah gives a river to hellfire, الذين يكتبون الكتاب بأيديهم. Those who write these books in Torah, they are making the halal and haram with their hands. They're making their books with halal and haram. يكتبون الكتاب بأيديهم ثم يقولون هذا من عند الله. And they say this is from Allah. It's all about money. يشتروا به ثمنا قليلا. They used to go to them and to, like fatwa shopping. Some people are doing that, like fatwa shopping, there's a fatwa. So we're going to write books, this is how it's called out, and then we sell it, with money. We used to do this. Then it's Israel, Yahud. Allah will say, فَوَيْلُ الَّذِينَ يَكْتُبُونَ الْكِتَابَ بِأَيْدِيهِمْ ثُمَّ يَقُولُونَ هَذَا مِنْ عِندِ اللَّهِ. All to those who write these books, these fatawas, these who say halal, haram, and haram, halal. مِمَّا كَتَبَتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ, that which they have written with their own hands. Claiming it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَيْلٌ لَهُمْ مِمَّا يَكْسِبُونَ لِيَشْتَرُوا بِهِ ثَمَنًا قَلِيلًا. By the way, al-kadhib in Islam is considered to be from the kaba'ir. Especially when you're lying, al-kadhib means lying. Lying, what do we call in Islam? Lying on Allah and lying on the Prophet. What do we call it in Islam? Lying on the Prophet. Don't we call that bid'ah? When you say the Prophet did this, but that's a lie, the Prophet didn't do that. Isn't that a bid'ah? What is a bid'ah? Something that you claim is a worship that you claim that the Prophet did, but the Prophet did not do. That's exactly what it is. It is heavy. They said that it is from Allah, but it is not from Allah. It is something that they have made, it's man-made. The way they use it to want to keep it. And by the way, there are so many ahadith that we have to be careful because I want to quickly go on a tangent here because I can relate to us today. Be careful of things that you receive on social media, hadith, that you start sharing with others. Maybe that hadith that you're sharing with others is not authentic, it is not true, it's a lie on Rasulullah. من كذب علي متعمدا فليتبوأ مقعده من النار. Whoever lies about me, saying that I did something I did not do, or I said something I didn't say, let him rest assured of his place in his fire. So, there was some hadith that talks about dates. That date is good. Like the hadith that talks about the date of Ajwa Medina. The hadith on that, Ajwa Medina, if you eat this Ajwa, 7 Ajwa dates, and then people, these merchants, they use this hadith to sell them their merchandise. So they said, okay, well, we have other merchandise other than dates. We have eggs. So they made up a hadith about eggs just to sell their merchandise. And they made a hadith about batata, to sell their batata, batata potato. And they made hadith about tomato, just to sell tomato. The truth happened. So because, okay, we need to sell, and then there's only one hadith about this. We need one hadith about this other merchandise. فَوَيْلٌ لِلَّذِينَ يَكْتُبُونَ الْكِتَابَ بِأَيْدِيهِمْ يَشْتَرُوا بِهِ ثَمَنًا قَلِيلًا وَيْلٌ لِلَّذِينَ يَكْتُبُونَ وَيْلٌ نَارٌ مِنْ النَّارِ. There was a man who was known to be وضاع. العرب ممكن يعرفوا ايش معنى وضاع. رجل اسمه ابن مريم. His name is Ibn Maryam, a man after the death of the Prophet. His name is Ibn Maryam. He was a good man. وضاع means he's a man who fabricates ahadith, but he had good intention. So what happened? يخترع الأحاديث. يسمى وضاع. يخترع is a man who invents ahadith. So خسر الناس عن القرآن. People, they neglected the Quran. So he says, what shall I do? the hadith for every surah. Whoever recites Surah Al-Waqi'ah, he will get death. The hadith of Rasulullah said, whoever recites Surah Al-Waqi'ah, he will not be poor. Hadith is well known. The hadith about poverty in Surah Al-Waqi'ah, you will not be poor. But that hadith is fabricated. It is not hadith sahih. Whoever recites Surah Al-Dukhan, you know this one. Surah Al-Dukhan, 70,000 angels will make dua for him or will take it for him. And it is also fabricated with. So this man, he went for every surah and he created some hadith for what? For people to just go back and read the Quran. Maybe his intention was right, but the action itself is wrong. Wait. يكتبون الكتاب بأيديهم وويل مما يكسبون. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right after that, if you can give me another maybe 5-10 more minutes, inshallah ta'ala, talking about the amani. The amani comes from umniya. Umniya means a wish in Arabic, a wish. The wishes of the Yahud. They have 3 wishes. وقالوا لن تمسنا النار إلا أياما معدودة. They say, the fire, they said, will not touch us except for a number of days. This is what they're saying. وقالوا لن تمسنا النار. The fire, even if we were to be thrown in hellfire, the fire will not touch us only for specific days, number of days, and then خلاص النار, and then we'll enjoy ourselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قل ومحمد tell them, tell this kuffar, tell them Israel, tell Yahud, وقالوا اليهود, يا محمد tell them, قل اتخذتم عند الله عهدا فلن أن تقولون على الله ما لا تعلمون. Tell them, Muhammad, have you taken a pledge from Allah? Have you taken a pledge of the promise? Did Allah promise you that the fire will only touch you for a specific number of days and then Salah will be over and then you will enjoy yourselves? Did you take a promise from Allah? Did you take a pledge from Allah? قل لهم اتخذتم عند الله عهدا أن تقولون على ما لا تعلمون. بلى. And then Allah says, بلى, nay. By the way, if even, let's say, if even they were right, أيام المعدودات, even if they were right, can they bear the heat of hellfire? Because there's one ayah in the Quran, وَإِنَّ يَوْمًا عِنْدَ رَبِّكَ كَأَلْفِ سَنَةٍ مِمَّا يَعُدُّونَ or مِمَّا تَعُدُّونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that one day in the day of judgment will be equivalent to 1,000 years. 1,000 years. How long do you live here in this dunya? 60, 70, 80, 90 if you're lucky. You get to live 90. One day there is 1,000 years. Can they bear the heat of hellfire for only one day? Not even one day they cannot. تعرج الملائكة والروح إليه في يوم كان مقداره 50,000 سنة. There's another ayah that says that in the day of judgment, the day of Hisab, the day of Hasr, one day will be equivalent to 50,000 years. How long can you put your finger in fire for? You get up the fire, then you put your finger. How long can you bear that pain, that of the fire? Not even a second. These people, if they were to be thrown there, you're talking about Allahu A'lam, years. Before they're saying, yeah, it's okay. We will only go there, get this punishment for a few days, and then it's okay. We'll be fine. This is their amani. This is how wrong they were. They build their aqidah upon thoughts and hopes. And Allah Azza wa Jal answers that. بلى من كسب سيئة وخطأ في خطيئته فأولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. But whoever commits evil here, Allah is talking about shirk, which these people they have done, Allah and have engrossed in sins, he will be the resident of hellfire. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, with regard to the believers, أولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. On the other hand, Allah Azza wa Jal talks about والذين آمنوا. So here Allah talks about the two parties, the non-believers, and then he moves talking about the believers. والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أولئك أصحاب الجنة هم فيها خالدون. With regard to the believers, they are the people of Jannah in it forever. But for the other ones, they will be in fire in it forever. Allah, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We should all say alhamdulillah that we're Muslims. The Prophet says, من كان آخر كلامه لا إله إلا الله دخل الجنة. whoever's last word in this dunya is La ilaha illallah shall enter Jannah. We say La ilaha illallah. And we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us that good honor to be able to say La ilaha illallah at the end of our journey, to be able to be admitted from the people of Jannah. What are the others? No. So much so that the Prophet Muhammad says, hadith reported by Muslim, written by Abu Dhar. The Prophet says, whoever says La ilaha illallah, last word is La ilaha illallah, enters Jannah. Abu Dhar says, Ya Rasulullah, وَلَوْ زَنَى وَصَرَقْ وَلَوْ زَنَى وَإِسَرَقْ. Even if he commits adultery and he steals, the Prophet says, even if he steals and he commits adultery, and he says La ilaha illallah before he dies, he shall enter Jannah. Then Abu Dhar repeats again, even if he commits zina and steals, the Prophet says, yes, even if he commits zina and he steals, he will enter Jannah. And Abu Bakr doesn't make any sense. Ya Rasulullah, for the third time, even if he makes zina, Ya Rasulullah doesn't understand. Even if he makes zina and he steals, why did he put these two things amidst the thousands of other sins, amidst stealing, amidst dishonoring the parents, so many other kabiras, he only chose zina and sadiq. The believer, he can, but he cannot know. The believer, he can maybe he may fall into killing, but he doesn't lie. He may be fall into doing something, but he does not kill. He does not zina. He does not do zina. He does not do adultery. So he says for the third time, even if he commits zina, and even if he lies, the Prophet says, even if he dies, despite your nose, Ya Abu Dhar, despite what you believe, despite you, Ya Abu Dhar, he will enter Jannah. He will enter Jannah. هذا دخل of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And then Abu Dhar is going, رغم أنف أبو ذر, despite your thinking, oh Abu Dhar, despite your thoughts, despite your belief, they will enter Jannah. So, this is the contrast and the comparison between the others and the believers, inshallah. If you give me 9:45 at end, inshallah. وإذ أخذنا ميثاقا. Okay, خلاص, this is the Nawafiq, the last. They made so many promises and they broke them. And Allah keeps reminding us of the Nawafiq. Nawafiq means the oath that they have made. They made so many oaths. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ. We took the covenant from Bani Israel. لَا تَعْبُدُونَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. Don't worship other than Allah. Did they fulfill this promise? They made a promise. The promise is, don't worship nothing but Allah. What did they do instead? You tell me. What did they do instead of worshiping Allah? They started worshiping the cow, the ajl, the cow. The Abd al-Ajl. Instead of whenever they left Allah, they know the promise. Yes, Allah, we will only worship you. But they left worshiping Allah Azza wa Jal, and then they started worshiping al-Ajl. Other mithaq, one mithaq that they have broken, one promise they've broken. When they told Musa, اجعل لنا إلها كما لهم آلهة. Oh, Musa, let's make a God, like those people have a God. If you are worshiping that God, why don't you, they're worshiping idol. Why don't you, Musa, why don't you make us a God to worship? Despite all the miracles that they have seen. Whereas Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونِ. I have created the ins and jinn only to worship me. So this worship is only due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This ibadah is only to Allah. This is the first mithaq. Mithaq number 2. First promise that they have broken is this. Second promise. وإذ أخذنا ميثاق بني إسرائيل لا تعبدون إلا الله وبالوالدين إحسانا. Tell your children. وبالوالدين إحسانا. And that you be dutiful to your parents. And this is for all. Not only for one of the Israel, for all. And that you be kind to your parents. I want to talk too much about this, but in 1 minute or two. إحسان. إحسان بالعربية نكرة في سياق الإثبات فيه للعموم. نكرة في سياق الإثبات فيه للعموم. كل ما يأتي في ذلك من الإحسان قدموا لوالديك. What is إحسان? You be good to your parents. Anything that comes to your mind which is good, offer it to your parents. Anything. Ihsan is a generic term. I was just coming from mitigating between husband and wife who are going through divorce. And alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the tawfiq to alhamdulillah mediate between them, and we alhamdulillah they went back to each other. And I mentioned something very important because they got their parents involved. She got her parents involved, he got his parents involved. Yes, we do at some point when it's really grave, but not for anything you pick up the phone and call your dad. Not for anything that you pick up your phone and you call your mom. My husband did this, she did this, and whatnot. Why? Here's why. And ihsan, we have three types to the parents. Ihsan bil qawl, remember this please. Ihsan bil fi'l, wal ihsan the first ihsan is with ihsan through action. What is ihsan through actions? You help them, you serve them, you support them. If they need money, you serve them. This is ihsan with action. Ihsan with words. Ihsan with words such as what? Making dua for them, speaking good to them, not raising your voice at them. The third type of ihsan, a lot of people don't believe. Ihsan bil hal. Al-hal. Fi hal hay. Fi hal hay. What is hal hay? What is hal? How are you? It means like your situation. Ihsan is al-hal. What does that mean? Don't make your parents a place of complaints. Anytime there's something, pick up the phone and then you vouch it and you just pour your heart. This happened, that happened, this happened, that happened. Don't make that the source of all the complaints. Your parents should have, or they should come from you, or listen from you, or get from you only the good hand. How are you? Even if you go into issues, and it's something really that needs your attention. Other than that, alhamdulillah, I'm fine. How's your wife? Alhamdulillah, we're fine. We're doing great. Your kids, alhamdulillah, I'm fine. Health-wise, alhamdulillah. Why? Don't go and put your parents into that zone where maybe you will be fine later on, truly with your job and with your wife and whatnot, and then they'll be crying all night. Your mother is saying to her, look what he did, or look what he did to me. He did this to me, and he did that to me, and whatnot. Maybe the same night, you and your wife will come back together. But then your parents and her parents will be in that, crying the whole night. Why? Because you complained to them. No, I mean, you're saying, yes, if it reaches a level where really the parents have to be involved, then let them be involved. But not for every or any little thing. They said, yes, alhamdulillah, I'm fine. How does we're doing fine? Is there any anything to you? Did he? No, Allah, alhamdulillah, is a good man. She's a good woman. She's a good wife. She's mutiya. You know what happened to this lady? It's a true story, Allah. Her husband got an argument with her. He yelled at her. And then she was crying. And she said she was wrong. Very much. All of a sudden, somebody knocks at the door. She opened the door. It was her father. And she was still crying. Her eyes were crying. Her father was crying. What happened? What happened? And then the husband was listening. He says, I missed you. I was just thinking about you. I cried. He didn't say nothing. And her husband heard that. And she went to the kitchen to prepare the dinner. She was fine, and she came as if nothing has happened. The husband became like a piece of halwa. Halwa is a good thing. Things of something worse than halwa. You know what I'm saying? He became that humiliating. Because she taught him an amazing lesson. She told her father with her hikmah, I missed you, and I was just thinking about you, and I cried because I missed you. And the father came as if nothing happened. They were sitting and having dinner. As soon as the father went, the husband went out. He went and he bought a very nice gift. And he came to his wife. He taught me a very, very nice lesson. Jazakallah khair. He gave her this beautiful gift. And they went back to what nothing happened. She could have complained. Dad, take me home. I don't want to stay with this monster. Look, he's getting me. He's getting at me. A lot of women do this. Don't they? A lot of men do this as well, with all the respect. So don't tell your parents for everything that happens. Your house is a aura, and it has a lot of secrets in it. Keep the secrets between you and your spouse. Only involve or engage your parents when something requires their involvement. Like when you bring حكما من أهله وحكما من أهلها. When you go into may Allah to make some sort of like a divorce, then you will be your family to try to sort out the issue and whatnot. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says here, وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, and then Allah talks about some other ones. Allah talks about al-qurba, He talks about a few other things, and He talks about al-salah and al-zakah. Why, how, Allah talks about, before the ibadah, He talks about akhlaq. Before the ibadah, talks about the akhlaq. Why the akhlaq came before the ibadah? We will talk about this inshaAllah ta'ala. Something very, very beautiful as I'm going to talk about these 4 types of honoring the parents. There are 4 types. I will mention them next week inshaAllah ta'ala. أربع أقسام. We move to the other oaths and we move to the other promises that they have promised Allah Azza wa Jal and have spoken. We'll talk about this inshaAllah ta'ala next week. I had to do it really fast. So sorry because I know I wanted to give you some time to go and have your dinner. If I was not clear in anything, please ask me if you have any questions or comments or maybe suggestions. Because I do feel like I went pretty quick on certain things. I'm going to come back next week and talk about this matter of the parents and the ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because it's very, very important. Any questions? I have the 2, by the way. We made the 2. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. The Shia. So the brother is asking about the Shia, Rawafid. There are many sects. Right? There are many sects. Even within them, there's many sects. The closest to the Ahl Sunnah are what they call the Zaydiyah, who are the closest to Ahl Sunnah. Amongst them are those who went so much astray. Those who changed like what the Yahud have changed. They changed into the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not only that. Even the Quran, there were certain things into the Quran, like there's some things they said that the Quran Fatima, they have the Quran called Fatima. They changed the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or the understanding of the ayat of Allah. They eradicated the meanings of certain ayat, a lot of ayat. Also, another thing that they do, which is amongst all of them, the cursing of the Sahaba and the cursing of Ummahat al-Mu'mineen, especially Aisha radiallahu anha. What would you call someone who right there? Tell them, what do you say about Aisha? Aisha, al-Mu'mineen, she's your mother and my mother. Allah Azza wa Jalla calls her Ummahat al-Mu'mineen, al-Mu'mineen, Rasulullah is al-Mu'mineen. She's the wife of Rasulullah. What do they say with the wife of Rasulullah? Oh, that she is not. She became this and that, and they start cursing. Because Abu Bakr. Because of the Prophet talked about the Sahaba. He told my Sahaba, you were my friends. Don't do Ashabi. Don't harm my Ashab. Don't harm them. Don't harm my friends, my companions. They are cursing them. They are speaking in them. They are making dua against them. So some they say that those who do this have entered the fold of kufr. Those who curse Ummuna Aisha, they have committed kufr. They don't say particularly you're kafir, but they say this action is the action of kufr. If you curse Aisha, if you curse Abu Bakr, if you curse Umar, if you curse Uthman, if you curse Abu Hurairah, then you have committed kufr. So in that case. So came the Muharram thing with regard to the killing of Al-Hussein, right? So this is which coincides with the 10th of Muharram of Ashura. It coincided with that day. So a lot of people are under the impression that when we fast, we commemorate the death of Hussein, which has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that because that theme was dated from the time when the Prophet made Hijrah to Medina. And he saw the Yahud fasting that day, and they mentioned that it is the fasting because Musa used to fast that day. Why Musa used to fast that day? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him from Fir'aun. So this is the reason as to why we fast that day, because the Prophet says Musa has more rights upon us than you. We have more rights. So we should fast, and the Prophet Muhammad started fasting that day. So that fasting of that day became fard. Before the fasting of Ramadan came, the fasting of Muharram was obligatory. So the Sahaba used to fast it as an obligatory action. And then when the fasting of Ramadan came, then it abrogated the fasting of Muharram. Muharram became Sunnah, Ashura became Sunnah, and Ramadan became Fard. But before it was Ashura, that was Fard. And Ramadan wasn't there at the time. Wallahu a'lam. تفضل شوية يا شيخ الشيخ. Yeah, hadith also talk about the poor, right? When you're not going to become poor if you recite it. It's not an authentic hadith. You've been reciting Waqa'ah. Good. You memorize Waqa'ah. That's good. Good. I know. It's a good, it's a good, of course, we say, so, alhamdulillah, you memorize it, you memorize it, but you recite it, alhamdulillah, but now you're going to recite it without that intention. So, remove this hadith. You see, that which has a hadith sahih, we take it. So, remove this hadith sahih in it. Surah Al-Baqarah, Al-Mani'ah, and then Hadith that says there's a surah that has 33 ayah, it's saved from hellfire, it's saved from the punishing of the grave, that's Surah Al-Mulk. So there's hadith on that particular surah. So that Muslim, I don't know what it says. I know Surah Al-Mulk, I know even Yasin. Even Yasin is not authentic, the hadith of Yasin. Exactly. خواتم سورة البقرة وسورة البقرة آل عمران النورين بس المعوذات نطلق المعوذات نقرأ الله حتى نقرأ البنات المعوذات. So سورة آل عمران الزهراوتان, the two flowery ones. Al-Baqarah and Al-Imran. So these are hadith on those. If the hadith is not authentic, then you maybe nobody of that sahih. You are maybe from his class, maybe. At the time of Musa, and after the death of Musa, they started changing. When Musa died, they started changing, so to make money. Anyway, even the Torah has been fabricated, even the Injil has been fabricated, and they know that. They know that the Torah. Except the Quran, here's the challenge. Cannot be fabricated. Trouble, please finish the key. Anything else? I wanted to spend more time, especially on the following ayat, because they're very, very important. I promise you, next week you'll be a lot happier because I'm going to give you more information about this upcoming ayat inside. إن الظن لا يغني عن الله شيئا. ها؟ اجتنبوا كثير من الظن إن الظن اجتنبوا كثير من الظن. Oh, you believer, stay away, try to stay away or refrain from الظن. What is that? Oh, very nice. That's what I said. What does that mean? I want you to stay away from, الظن. Don't think bad of someone. If you hear some news, make sure that the news are correct. They tell you, did you hear what that man did? The Sheikh said, did you hear it from the Sheikh? Did you see that person doing that? Did you hear that person say that? You didn't hear? Then try before, forwarding every message. There's a lot of vice nowadays. There's a lot of publication of videos now. With all these technologies, you can make Trump say whatever you want him to say. You can make Trump Sheikh. Right, and make it khutbah now, with this, you can make it, what? So, اجتنبوا كثير من الظن إن بعض الظن إثم. And this is, we tell also the sisters, don't have to talk about your husband, maybe, he did this, he went there, he did this, he was supposed to her, he did this to her, he went to this, he went there. Don't think this about your husband, because this will lead to something, maybe to something, and then it breaks marriage. And then maybe the husband is doing nothing. But I feel something because all women, mashallah, they have the sense sense. The seven sense. They see things. Maybe Shaitan is making me think something that is actually totally wrong and then there's nothing happening. Right? So you keep on digging and digging. No, I'm going to go and pick up his phone when he's sleeping and see his messages. I think this is something that you're not supposed to see. And that will spoil the whole thing. He does not want to tell you about something because there's no need for you to know, maybe. There's no need really. He's working on stuff. He's not cheating on you. Right? That's very important. He's doing something. Alhamdulillah, he's a good man. He prays. He comes to the masjid. And he does not do any haram. So that's what matters really, really. So if he has some other things, maybe some secrets or whatnot between him and his mom or his sister he's working on, maybe he's doing something that he does not want you to know. He's counseling an orphan and he wants to get this between him and Allah Azza wa Jal. What are you doing? In the back of the and then you come and say, oh, I couldn't have thought about you like this because I had the wrong thoughts. I had the wrong thoughts and I wronged you and I was just because I heard. This is what happens when you hear from different sources that you do not know, the actual truth. You need to know the actual truth before you make a judgment. يجتنبوا كثير من الظن إن بعض الظن إثم. Some of theظن will cause to do إثم. It means something haram. So don't just think of everything you hear. Don't trust it. Why would you? I heard that they said that you did. But did you see anything? Did you see anything? Well, I trust those people who said about you. Hey, but do your due diligence before you make a judgment. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. جزاكم الله خير بارك الله فيكم. سبحان الله والحمد لله.